Welcome to the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, our first points short track race of the season for WTSS Season 7. Many drivers coming off of the highs and lows of Michigan International Speedway, the first real test on an oval for some of these drivers, and it was Mitchell Mark in the 28 who came out victorious for his first career victory in the WTSS. Straight out onto the racetrack for the second week in a row is the 77 of Patrick Smith, eager to get out on the track to turn some laps. Here in qualifying, 10 minutes to figure out who puts it on the pole for 200 laps around this absolutely thrilling bull ring.
Yep, this is an entirely different challenge from Michigan last week. This is going to be close quarters, beating and banging.
Nashville has gotten a bit of a reputation in the WTSS for being nicknamed Crashville. This is one of the highest incident rate tracks on the entire calendar and in the entire history of the WTSS. Drivers just lose their minds here. It is a track that invites contact and it invites close quarter racing all the way to the checkered and sometimes all the way to the caution because the race will end under yellow sometimes here as well. Smith was the first car out on track at Nashville, or at Michigan, and he's first one out on track at Nashville. Obviously, still trying to get acquainted with that well, it's not really a new team, but still trying to get acquainted with the way they've got that car set up this year. Last race winner at Michigan, Mitchell Mark, actually ends up in the first pit stall out of the pits here. Tristan Wilhoit in the Maverick 17, he goes to the top of the board in that Mobil 1 car. Smith takes it back. You're going to see the times continue to fall as people come out of their stall. As people come out and do more and more laps. The tires will get up to temp. The pit stalls are a bit close quarters here at Nashville to cram 40 cars into this pit lane. The drivers sometimes will have to nudge their way past the people in front of them out of their stalls, but it does not normally result in any sort of damage with the car, so it's just the way it has to be. Oh, and we already have a mechanical failure in qualifying. Chonarong Wongsawat has absolutely exploded the motor, and that Seat comes into the pits and pulls out of qualifying. Will they be able to get a backup out there in time? Speaking of short tracks, our rookie shootout winner, Alex Constantine, coming out onto the racetrack for the first time. If he can bring the same kind of setup and pace he brought at Jukasa, then I think he'll be within a contention for the race win. But it's a whole different ballgame. When there's 11 rookies on the racetrack, it's one thing because you all are new and there's no real bar to raise the competition to. But now you've got all these experienced drivers, former champions, race winners, all of them around you. Now it's really time to test to see where you're at in comparison to where you were at the rookie shootout. Sean Angel in the 58 car. On the top now. The first one under the 18.8s now in an 18.762, almost a tenth quicker than the competition. Reason I bring up those rookies, Arnie Nugroho, one of the drivers who won the pole for the rookie shootout and showed really good short run pace in Jukasa, is second quickest at the moment. So obviously they really have a good short run car on their short track package, but the actual long run, we'll have to see if they've improved or not for them. And it's also a game of managing traffic on a short track group qualifying. Figuring out, find your gaps.
Unlike what these people are doing.
Yeah. Well, some people feel they're faster than others, and so they're all trying to clear each other.
That's Wongsawat back out.
Yeah, Wongsawat, the 08, already back out on track. They had that car at the ready. No limits in the WTSS as to backup cars, extra cars entered to try and fill the void should there be an incident in qualifying. Normally teams will come to the racetrack with a backup car for each of their entries. Jeffrey Finguy and Mitchell Mark to the top of the board. Wouldn't that be something if Mitchell Mark could win back-to-back poles in only his second and third career poles in WTSS? Currently second by 6 thousandths behind the 92 of Jeffrey Finguy, who really put down a good lap. Mark improves on that mark, though, to go to the top. The 28 car out front with an 1866. Man, that team's got a mean setup on that car. They obviously were able to match their qualifying speed at Michigan. At the start of the race, it looked like everybody else had the upper hand on him for a little bit there at the start at Michigan, but once they pitted and made adjustments, they were able to turn that car back around and make it an actual race-ready car. And he won the race as a result. Got up, took the front, and never looked back. Championship leader Chris Dodd struggling at the moment. 37th quickest with the 8 car. Scott Roush up to second quickest. Roush, this has historically been one of his best tracks in the WTSS. Notoriously, also the site of one of his most heartbreaking losses in the WTSS, where he won the pole by 0.2 of a second, was 0.3 of a second clear of the entire field for the first 55 laps of the race back in Season 4, before he blew the engine from a 12-second lead in what could have been one of the most dominant drives in WTSS history at the time. And it is now a Roush Racing Enterprises 2-4, as Jake Stavina jumps up to 4th, and their affiliate car, Allison Figueroa, jumps up to 3rd. Great showing for their program, but this is what they were aiming for. The Roush Racing cars are always powerful at the short tracks. This is their sort of wheelhouse. As Dan Giroux is leaving the pit. Oh! Scott Roush gets into Daniel Giroux as he holds up the 6 car, and he deemed the 2 was just in his way, and he moved him out of the way. Giroux's got left-hand damage now.
Some tempers already flaring, and we're only in qualifying.
Yeah, Roush getting impatient here in qualifying, it looked like. At least to some degree there. Anybody out there improving at the moment? It looks like there's some people still finding some time, but nobody at the front of the timing sheets, at least, that are finding time. Those 18.6s and 18.7s are hard to come by. 18.8s and 18.9s are more common here. Elijah Innes is into the 5th position. I didn't mention him up front. Another one of the rookies mixing it up in the top 10 in this qualifying session. 2 of them are up in the top 10 at the moment. Jeff McLennan, the other one. Final 2 minutes before we enter standby.
McLennan was also doing good in the... McLennan finished 2nd in the rookie shootout. Yep.
Logan Hill reporting a vibration, but that shouldn't affect him too much. It is just qualifying too, so there really won't be anything that'll probably come out of it. Roush Racing Enterprises now has 3 cars and 1 affiliate in the top 10. Jeff McLennan jumps up to 6th quickest. I just watched him move up the timing sheets. Maverick can be happy about...
McLennan
to the top of the board! 1859! He just keeps improving, and he's the first sub 18.6. That was out of complete nowhere. I was just about to compliment how high up the order he was when he was 6th quickest. That's a crazy lap. And like I said, managing the traffic, he found a pocket of clean air. He knew he had the setup underneath of him to go that quick, and he executed on it. There's the 2 Finguy Saitomi cars of Jeffrey Finguy and Roberto Crown Jr. ganging up on James Gibson at the moment for track position.
I think that's the debut of that Exalta scheme on the 92.
It is, it is. After the 2 special schemes the team ran at their home race in Michigan last week. Scott Roush has conceded he does not think he can go any quicker. 3rd is the highest he will be. Is anyone out there capable of even improving up into the top 10 or the top 5? Yes, Shrimp Angritz goes 6th quickest. Shrimp Angritz goes to the top! The same thing Jeff McLennan did! 6th quickest 1 lap to the top the next! Shrimp Angritz breaks the heart of the rookie Jeff McLennan as we enter standby. This is the final moments for anybody to set any times. Who Wu Jian jumps up to 8th quickest right at the end. She'll get a top 10 qualifying as a result. Does anybody else find anything on the timesheets? Up in the top 10 at least. It doesn't look like it. 1 second, 0 seconds. Shrimp Angrets breaks Jeff McLennan's heart. And the Maverick rookie will have to start on the outside of the seasoned veteran instead of on pole, as we have another engine failure for the Rocket Atkinson Racing Team. Sebastian Van Dalen blows an engine at the end of qualifying. I'd be nervous if I was Rocket Atkinson after a qualifying session like that. But it is Shrimp Angrets putting it on the pole in the last seconds here at Nashville Fairgrounds. Rest of your top half of the field is McLennan, Mark, Roush, Figueroa, Stavanaugh, Innes, Gian, Finguy, and Tamura, your top 10. And as we look down to the second half of the field, a couple of shockers with Chris Dodd back in 31st, all the way back there. And a couple other seasoned veterans like Ryan Bolden and James Gibson all the way back there as well, but I guess they weren't really expecting much speed out of those cars. And DJ
Bianco and
Curtis
Giroux also continuing poor qualifying runs.
Yeah. Same with the Ditech Van Dalen team as a whole. His teammate and team boss Alex Bianco in 30th. But it is Shrimp Angrets, the veteran of 7 seasons, beating out the rookie Jeff McLennan in the dying stages of qualifying here at Nashville Fairgrounds.